Let me be brief. Oil tycoon Harold Hamm's ex-wife is appealing her divorce settlement, even though she cashed a near $975 million check. Attorney Pilar Prince says cashing that monster check might have ruined her case. Kelly Sandon says it did not. Kelly, you don't think it did. But if she wanted more, shouldn't she have held off doing that?
Sure, there's the theory that she shouldn't accept that and that could be the consideration, but the reality is she has exorbitant expenses. Why should her ex-husband have control over money that the court has already adjudicated to be hers, part of the marital estate? And in the interim, appeals can take years. So her to cash the check, I'm sure she talked about it with her attorneys, and she's making the argument that it's not fair, it's inequitable, that this man was controlling what equates to $94,000 a day in interest, the amount that she's already awarded. So for her to cash the check, it seems to me like good business sense.
Well, I think if anyone goes to the trouble, Pilar, of writing a number so big that it takes 2 lines to do it, the very least you could do is cash the damn thing. But having said that, how will it hurt him or her? What do you think?
Neil, she got $975 million. She cashed the check. It's done. She's waived her claim. She accepted the benefit of what the trial court gave her. Mr. Hamm acknowledged her work. He acknowledged the fact that it was a long-term marriage. He acknowledged the fact that she contributed to the company. But the reality is he started in the oil business when he was 18 years old. He's a self-made multi-billionaire, and the court recognized her interest, but enough is enough.
But what if she says, yeah, I appreciate this check as a start, but I need more? And now because he's talking about how much he's hurting with the collapse in energy prices, maybe she felt, I better cash this thing now.
Well, I think you're right, Neil.
Pilar, no, go ahead, Pilar, go ahead.
It's called accord and satisfaction, and except for very limited circumstances, Neil, you can't accept what you're awarded, the $975 million that the trial court gave her, what they found to be her fair share of this estate. You can't cash it and then come back with your hand out and ask for more. If she wanted to appeal, and I think her chances were pretty bad anyway, but if she wanted to appeal, she should never have cashed that check. I doubt that her lawyers advised her to do this. I think it was a big mistake, but I don't think she'd get more anyway. She should go home a very happy, very wealthy woman.
Kelly?
I disagree. I mean, he's appealing. He hasn't dropped his appeal. He says, I wrote you a check for $975 million, but I want money back. She's saying, I contributed to the $18 billion of net worth. I deserve more. In the interim, she has to pay expenses. She shouldn't have to depend on him for support. And regardless of whether or not either one of them is happy with the outcome, they always have a right to appeal, and there are limited circumstances like this. Why should he control her net worth while they're fighting about whether she's entitled to more? He shouldn't.
Pilar, the battle is over, whether the check's cashed or not.
It's not about him controlling her net worth. It's about the fact that the court made a decision. It's an 80-page, unbelievably long analysis. The judge decided, and remember that what's fair isn't what's equal. I mean, he was worth multi-million dollars before he married her. That doesn't mean that she gets to share in all of that.
Well, it's a moot point.
He was worth $50 million when they got married. He was worth $18 billion collectively with her when they got divorced. So somehow or other that she walks away with less than 10% of the net worth is not fair. She should fight for it. She helped build the company. You yourself said she contributed to the success. He agreed to that. So she's entitled to 10%? No way. He's being cheap. Regardless, take out the big numbers, the millions and the billions.
His worth has collapsed in the meantime, right? So she might count her chickens while she still has
right.
Right?
Well, his worth is now less than $9 billion versus the $18 billion. But when that goes back up, or had it tripled the next day, he wasn't going to say, you know what, honey, let me write you 3 times the award. No, he wasn't. And he wasn't being fair because they could have settled it ahead of time.
Yeah, but $1 billion or $2 billion would have been a hell of a lot easier to write. I'm just saying.
Hold on just a minute.
Guys, thank you both very much. Well, just when the world is rallying around him, along comes a stupid Frenchman to make you realize, well, not all of them.
Want to know how hard it can be to breathe with COPD? It can feel like this. COPD includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Spiriva is a once-daily inhaled COPD